fear has a color. It's the gorgeous glow of yellow, wielded by Sinestro and his yellow lanterns. And now the entire universe is bathed in its sinister light. Oa, the homeworld of the Guardians, and their Green Lantern Corps is no more. In its place, at the center of the universe orbits War World. The Green Lanterns have vanished, leaving no one to oppose the Sinestro Corps' reign. No one, that is, except the last Lantern, Hal Jordan.
Hey guys, Smurphy here with a revisit to Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps.
Originally released in September of 2016 as part of DC's Rebirth event, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps was written by Robert Venditti, with art by Raphael Sandoval, and can be found in many collected editions.
Not sure if you're familiar with this book, but it's during the Rebirth saga of books coming out. The best thing about this book is that if you were a fan of the Geoff Johns Green Lantern, this follows in its footsteps. After 52, where things get kind of wonky, they kind of start fixing things. Things are not great for Green Lantern Corps and Hal Jordan. Actually, the Corps has been kind of missing for a while. They're pretty banged up when you do discover them. Guy Gardner's been flying around the universe by himself, and Hal Jordan has yet to be seen. It's a great adventure as you're reading it because you get to see them go through the character development of how do they get past this low that they're currently in. Guy figures out, hey, I'm just going to go punch everything I see, typical Guy Gardner, and it kind of works for him a little bit. Hal Jordan does reappear, but when he reappears, he's realizing that the Green Lantern ring isn't working out so good for him. It's kind of going kind of wonky on him, so he's going to go figure out a way how to get it to work better. At the same time, the Corps does finally show up. They've been lost in space for a while, and they are banged up. And the worst part is Sinestro has a homeworld where he is pretty much the king, and they're running things, and the Yellow Lantern Corps is the ones who are patrolling the galaxy, not the Green Lantern Corps. Right, make your head kind of spin, but that's what makes the story super interesting. Fellow Green Lantern, Sinestro's daughter, has taken over, well, not really taken over, but she's now a Yellow Ring member, and she's helping out and making sure that they follow the rules, and they just use fear as their power instead of will, but they're kind of still fighting for good. So it's a very perplexing, very interesting read, and if you're a fan of Green Lantern, I would highly recommend hopping on this book. As a personal reader of Green Lantern and a fan, I fell off during 52 at the part where they made Hal Jordan share the power ring with Sinestro, and Sinestro was a Green Lantern. This brought me back. Like, as soon as I picked up the first couple issues, I was hooked from the start, and I went to read more, and I actually read the whole series all the way through, and it became one of my favorite series. The things I loved about this book, for one, is the artwork. It kind of kept the same feel that you would find in the Geoff Johns story arcs. Whenever they do the green energy, there's spectrums, and whenever they'd use any of their constructs, the art, it was gorgeous. The story was compelling. It wasn't too wordy, and I absolutely loved everything about it. Things I hated about it? Honestly, not very much. Because I knew already these guys were starting from the bottom, working their way up, which you kind of hate, but that's what's awesome for character development. So, if you guys are looking to jump onto this book, but you'd love to go back and learn from the very beginning when Geoff Johns kind of rehashed it all, go back to our podcast episode of Green Lantern Rebirth. In that podcast episode, I walk you through the mini-series that is Rebirth. If you're interested in listening to that, we will have a link in the description below. So this is Smurphy, revisiting Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps.
Well, folks, that's our show. We hope you liked it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the My Big Fat Pull List YouTube channel so you don't miss another episode of one of our shows.
And don't forget, we have a podcast. Make sure you head on over and search out My Big Fat Pull List podcast on any one of your podcast listening platforms.
And help us keep the lights on by heading on over to www.patreon.com/My Big Fat Pull List. And you'll know that you can get any one of these amazing shirts right there.
Also, hit us up on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.